police chiefs in England and Wales are set to oppose admission of institutional racism, despite vowing to change in the wake of discrimination claims. The National Police Chiefs Council was said to have begun considering a public admission in December, and have since then held a number of private meetings to try and agree on what course of action should be taken. However, as you would expect, denial is the name of the game for police constables all the way up to the top brass, as sources with knowledge of the discussions say that plans expected to be released by the NPCC will contain absolutely no acceptance that institutional racism be admitted. In other words, sweep it all under the carpet, blame everyone else, and bury your head in the sand in the hope that the general public soon forget. Some experts listed as experts in racing and police, and I don't really think they're referring to Police Sports Day, warn that a failure to admit institutional racism will damage already weak confidence in policing among black communities. And here I say for the 100th time, failure for the police to admit to their biases and discriminatory behaviour towards the general public at large will have the same effect. People say, how can white people be discriminated against? Which in my opinion makes the person saying it a racist for bringing colour into it. But I say to them, because discrimination is generally a bias towards a certain type of people from another. Whether it be a woman against a man, feminist, black against white, racist, or, and this is very important, police against public. Although I'm not quite sure what ist that would be. Although I do think we should come up with one, because the issue is the police who are taught and indoctrinated into the police family, leaving their friends on the outside in favour of friends on the inside, inbreeding, having relationships with other police rather than members of the public, unless of course they're vulnerable female victims of crime, and having an almost cult-like vibe that makes them believe that they are some kind of higher authority than the rest of us. And unless we tackle this issue as a whole, as in discrimination as a whole, then we are simply never going to see a change in the police. Now, I'm sorry about that little rant. Back to the story. Policing was first labelled as institutionally racist in 1999 in the McPherson report on failings that let the racist killers of black student Stephen Lawrence escape justice for so long. Sir David Thompson, Chief of the West Midlands Police, who is leading the police chiefs on the race plan, told The Guardian, "We have discussed it, institutional racism, quite a lot. Chiefs have expressed their views. I think it is quite difficult to get a universal view." Thompson said some chiefs viewed it as an incendiary term, saying it unfairly tarnishes policing, which is unhelpful. It becomes a term to say that everything is broken. As you can imagine, the police force with the most to lose due to its incredibly high status, the Metropolitan Police, is among those who have opposed to admit to racism, along with Greater Manchester Police. But it appears that unless a consensus is reached, it's unlikely that admission or omission will be made by the National Police Chiefs Council. Among plans currently in draft form are greater collection of data, including of traffic stops. The Metropolitan Police has started doing that as a pilot. Also, there are plans for greater mentorship for the minority ethnic officers who have joined, and mapping where minority ethnic officers are in the police hierarchy. This is hoped to show whether they are stuck at the junior ranks and assess their progression against white colleagues. I don't simply understand why they don't just promote people who can do the job properly, regardless of what fucking colour they are. Victor Olisa, former head of diversity at Scotland Yard, said failing to admit institutional racism would be a serious error. If it doesn't, then their credibility, which is very weak now, will get even weaker. The black community will believe that senior officers do not care about solving the issues of race. But Victor. The senior officers clearly don't care about solving any of the fucking issues with blacks, with whites, with yellows, with males, with females, with in-betweeners, or anyone else for that matter. They will continue with their worthless and pointless platitudes several times a year when they bring out the noddy cars for gay pride, promote trans awareness on their social media, which are simply publicity stunts and nothing more. Nothing will change until we stop looking at ourselves as different from one another and start fighting back, not as black citizens or white citizens or Polish citizens or male citizens, but simply as citizens, members of the public, human beings who have each other's back regardless. Very big thank you to channel supporters one and all, especially these guys. Your support is truly appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will. And until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police and other officials.